Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are all well. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We are here to talk about Avatar: The Way of Water, or Avatar 2: The Way of Water. The good, the bad. This will be it's literally just me and Paulie for now, because out
Hey,
of the main panel, how you doing, good sir?
hey.
It is just me and Paulie that has actually watched the film, which is obviously a bit frustrating. I understand that because I'm sure people want, a bit of a broader spectrum of opinions. But this is still good because we're opposed on our opinions on this. So, this isn't an echo chamber. I think this will make for an interesting stream on that. And then we'll sort of fall into some other bits and pieces to, talk about as well whilst we sort of get going. Tom can join in shortly. Just finished previous stream of Culture Casino. Yeah, I did message him. He has not seen it though, so there's no point in joining for a little while. So basically, well, it's not.
Right. You can take a lunch break. We love them.
Yeah. Well,
Get some
yeah.
lunch.
I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? When we're trying to talk about current events, and one of those current events is a movie, and we're the only
Yeah,
ones that have watched it. Bit
sure.
unfortunate. Okay, so look, Avatar 2, The Way of Water. It came. It's a movie. It's a long movie. Most guys know my review of it. Just to sort of break it down briefly, I think the best, I think the best and fairest overview I could come up with, and you can correct me if you think otherwise on this,
Mm.
Paulie, is that if you liked the first one, you'll like this movie. I think that's pretty much a guarantee. Although I have seen some people say otherwise. I think also, if you like 3D, you'll like the 3D in this one. If you're not fussed on either of those things, I think you may struggle with this movie, basically. And I think that's as fair as I could possibly be without diving into my personal opinions of it outside of, a sort of a broad review. I mean, do you agree or disagree with that? Because obviously you've liked it, you've seen it, but do you think that's probably about right?
Well, that's about right. I saw it on 3D IMAX, and
So did
I
I, just as an FYI, yeah.
yeah. So I was with two people that seen it on 2D and then 3D
Mm,
IMAX. It's like there's no comparison. You need to see it in 3D IMAX.
yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, cool. And so yeah, so what did you think about you loved the movie? Tell me your opinion of it. What did you think? Give me your review, I guess.
Well, I did an out of the theater review. We had a couple other people there, and I paid for my ticket. That's important to note.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's an IMAX 3D prime time that Thursday evening,
Yeah.
and had great seats. Yeah, I I had a ball. I was immersed. I was in it. I was in it so
Mm.
much that I was caring about the little kids and their little journeys.
Oh, interesting.
I'm one of those guys that I can watch. There literally was one of the kids just like with a whale and like riding the fin and learning how to
Mm.
bond with the whale for like what, a half hour.
That's a
I
long time.
loved it.
All
you know,
right, okay.
yeah, I mean, because uh, again, I went in there to be entertained, and not expecting a Shakespearean story and complex
Mm.
characters. Yeah, the story's thin, the dialogue's kind of lame here and there. Um,
Kinda.
well, listen, I'm giving you my. I know how you feel.
I'm chipping in
Um,
here as well. Get
That
in
being
there.
said, I thought the themes were, I love this theme of this man trying to do the best. Well, this Navi guy, Jake Sully,
Mm.
trying to be the best father he could be,
Yeah.
and its challenges. I thought in those challenges were very small, like dealing with internal, conflicts of the brothers to the kids, to them being bullied, going to another town, so to speak, to
Yeah.
another totally different, people.
It's almost
I
like a
thought the whole
hemisphere,
different,
isn't it?
Yeah, I thought the whole thing with the different tone of Navi, like as far as skin tone,
Mm.
that was I was like I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh,
Well,
and
they're
then
basically
it's kind of like,
Maori, aren't they? Because they did the hacker.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they're
that's
basically
right.
Maori.
So they're kind of like judging each other. I mean, I thought it was cool, and of course, for me the uh the technology and the look and feel of it was just outstanding. I had a ball. I did take two breaks.
Did
I am an older.
you?
I'm 52. I had to go potty
Yeah,
twice.
okay, interesting. But
Hmm.
you don't feel like you missed anything in those two
No,
breaks.
no. See that, and that could be good or bad, right?
I was about to
Um,
say, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
well, there's those films that you can put on and nod off to and come back and still be entertained, like you felt like you didn't miss anything. Fellowship of the Rings, it comes to mind for me.
Oh
Um,
no, really?
yeah.
Fellowship of the Ring. I don't know if I want to fall asleep during Fellowship of the Ring. There's a lot going on in that movie.
There there is. I think there is a lot going on in this movie. But what I'm saying is that uh, I kind of felt the beat of that scene, and not back to Avatar too,
Mm,
of that kind of like the storytelling. I was like, okay, this is the end of this kind of like, montage, they've arrived at the new place. All right, now's a good
mm,
time for me to go, potty break and come back. And I didn't, I didn't felt I'm sure I did miss some stuff, but you gotta go, you gotta go.
true.
Um
True about Catherine.
so yeah, and Cameron has always been an environmentalist. He's been big on that. He's always
Yeah,
put it in his movies. Um, yeah, I don't think I at all. I don't feel I was ever lectured to. I was entertained. Um,
yeah,
what else? I think this would be great for fathers and sons to watch. But particular age of sons, not too young, obviously.
yeah.
There's some death in this, which I was like, I liked. And then some of the action scenes were kick ass and beautiful.
Sadist.
Right,
There's some
right.
death and I loved it. Ah,
Yeah,
Paulie's
yeah.
review of Avatar.
But
Okay,
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. Interesting. So,
so I'm going back. We're gonna go back next week because we're traveling to see a family, and
mm,
we have a niece and nephew who we're all hanging out with for the week, and they're like young teenagers. Perfect. Let's go.
yeah.
Let's all go watch it.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. I found it boring. I found it overlong. I found it indulgent to its detriment. You could easily chop out 40 minutes of this film and it would be telling the same story. It would have the same impact. It would be the same story over and over, through and through. Um, yeah, I also thought the effects weren't actually that good. The effects of the motion capture were great. The motion capture, the Navi motion capture, brilliant.
Hmm.
Absolutely second to none. The scenes where it's fully CGI were incredibly weak and genuinely felt like a video game cutscene. Where we got that start scene, it's in the trailer, one of the trailers, where the humans are coming down in the robots and they're like, duh, 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 all the flames again, and they've got the big bulldozer and things like that. That looked like a video game cutscene. That looked awful
Mm, mm,
for a movie. I mean, that was real bad. I have genuinely seen better graphics in a video game than that.
mm,
And so I don't deny you that the effects are brilliant, but I would, under the caveat that when it's the motion capture,
hmm.
I think the motion capture was where the effects were good. Outside of that, I thought they lacked quite a lot because, and what it is that it's not that the effects are bad, but it's that the standard is good, right? The standard for visual effects, because we've seen it, we see it all the time. I mean, you look at
Hmm.
one of the better examples, I guess, more recently, like trailers for like Dead Space, the remaster. You got the trailers for Callisto Protocol. Name literally whatever video game that's a AAA product coming out now. The trailer for that has visual effects CG, which is equal if not better than some of the fully CGI creations in this film. And so I think, you know, when your film essentially sinks or swims on VFX, because to me the story is weak, and also to some people it's weak, but your selling point is the visuals and the immersion. I think you really have to nail that. And I think, you know, having that sort of CGI cutscene stuff, not so good.
I was
Personally.
sold. I was sold on it all. I could go back and sure, you know, I wasn't looking for it. That's the thing, right?
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
could go back and look for it, and I'm sure I'll find it, right? Like, you know, those things that you
Mm.
said. I think you can do that with most, entertainment
Absolutely
films.
can.
You know,
Absolutely can.
what I was surprised was, the strong,
Mm.
emphasis on Sully's family. We're all Sully's. Whether he made the best decisions or the mom did, that's
Mm.
that's I think that's to move along the story. I thought it has a great cliffhanger for the next movie. Like I want to see the next one right away.
Do you think that
Um
was a cliffhanger? I thought that was pretty weak ending. What did you think
yeah,
the
there's so many
cliffhanger was
unanswered
specifically?
questions. There's so many unanswered
Well, but
questions.
yeah, but is that good storytelling if
I
they don't
mean,
wrap things up? I mean,
we'll see when everything is told. I mean, I think that's why he's had all these stories all together.
I know, but
Um,
3 hours, 10 minutes, you'd think you'd wrap at least one plot thread up, you know? Like just for argument's sake, right? Loads of people love the third act. They love it. They think it's
mhm.
amazing. Did you like the third act?
Yes.
Okay, right. So you think it's amazing. They're all flying in on their new fish monster creatures, yeah? They're riding, they're warriors, yeah? You got the
Yeah.
whale coming in, smashing stuff up. Great, yeah?
Right.
Where'd they all go?
Where did all the warriors and the whales go?
They disappeared.
Oh God! You know what? That's the thing is that they
But no,
disappeared because you
they
start
fucking vanished. They
right.
literally vanished.
Well, it's not that they vanished. Is that
No, they
the
did.
story?
They were in one scene, and then in the
Well, hold
next, they're
on,
gone.
hold on. The story went to back to our main characters, and they all had just amazing challenges just to stay alive. That
I
was
get that.
awesome. That was
But
so.
that doesn't
Well, I
answer
get what
where
you're
they
saying. I
went.
get what you're
They
saying, but
disappeared. They
and then it's
literally vanished from the screen.
yeah, but it doesn't. For me, it didn't ruin the story and the action.
Did it not? I
Not at
was
all.
genuinely like, where are all these warriors? Why is it now just Jake dealing with it when all these warriors were there? I was like, where have they gone?
Yeah, listen. I again, I'm sure I could. I'm gonna go back and see it again, and
Yeah.
this time. So okay, let me compare to Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I went in there with Black Panther wanting to be entertained. I wanted to like that
Hmm.
film a lot. I had a lot, writing on it with the channel and all that stuff. Just because
Hmm.
I want some great achievement, great portrayals.
Yeah, yeah, of
I
course.
was not entertained at all during Black Panther
Hmm.
during the first viewing of it. So then my eye started looking for all the ridiculousness right away because I was not enjoying
So
myself,
that so this
right?
is this goes
And
this
then
goes to something I say about all movies is that all movies have plot holes. It's whether the film
right,
is entertaining enough
right,
for you to overlook those plot holes.
yeah.
And for me, it's a huge plot hole that there was an entire island community raging towards this boat and then they all just disappear, just vanish. Because I wasn't that
Yeah,
entertained. It wasn't that entertaining of a movie for me. They literally
yeah.
they are there. 1 second they are there. They're all there. There's quite a lot of them. There's a lot there. And then the next, they're all gone. They've just disappeared. Poof, gone. And I was like, what? What's going on here?
Well, I think my point was that I just wanted to finish up with Wakanda was that I had a chance to go back and see big portions of that movie again because I was waiting for other films to start.
Mm.
And I saw about 40 minutes of Wakanda again, and I was like, God, I was right. This was god awful
Yeah, terrible
storytelling,
film. Yeah.
terrible.
Mm.
I just didn't have that experience with Avatar. I just
Yeah.
didn't,
I
you know,
wonder. I
and
wonder now, having some of these things said, maybe you'll
mm,
notice it. like the opening
Well, I mean,
CGI.
yeah, I
Maybe you'll
mean,
see that, and I don't know.
between all you guys complaining in my ear that I'm crazy.
No, I want you to like it. I wanted to like this film, despite what
Yeah,
most people, contrary to popular belief. I always, regardless of what I talk about
yeah,
on the lead up to a film, I always review a film as it is on its own merit. And
sure.
there are videos of me going, yeah, no, I was wrong here, like this. I mean, we spent a little while talking about Wednesday here on this
Mm,
podcast show as well, and I
mhm,
watched that and I was like, I bloody love this show. This is great. Like I'm more than happy. I want to review it as it is and just enjoy it. And I
mhm.
don't think anyone wants to sit there for it's basically 4 hours all in, right? About 3.5, 4-ish hours, because it's 3 hours, 10 minutes plus some trailers. No one wants
Mhm.
to sit there for that long not enjoying it. It's just ridiculous. So no, I want to enjoy every single film, and so I'm
Mhm.
happy that you enjoyed it personally, because
Oh, I loved it.
I wouldn't wish anyone have a bad movie going experience. It's a waste of
Yeah.
time and money at the end of the day. But I'm curious what you thought of the. So you say that the special effects are so good, right? My we speak about the special effects themselves, spoken about that, but personally for
Mhm.
me, I found and it goes in with the special effects, but I found the frame rate situation really quite jarring. It made me feel quite nauseous. And as we watched it on the same format, IMAX 3D, I wonder if you had the same thing. So they had 24 frames a second on most things, but
Mhm.
then when characters are moving fast and in action, they ramp it right up to 48 frames a second, and I found it nauseating. I actually had to look away from the screen several times because I found it
Ah.
hurt my eyes a little bit. It made me feel quite uncomfortable, somewhat
Mhm.
painful. But I wonder if you had the same experience,
I
or
I
it didn't
didn't.
affect you in any way.
No, it didn't affect me in any way. I did have that experience with the Jungle Cruise, the 3rd act. I thought
Oh,
that got just that made me and Romy, we were watching Jungle Cruise. Same theater,
mm,
IMAX, the whole thing. That gave us a headache. Um, no,
mm,
no, no. Back to Avatar. I I did not. I wasn't bored. So those 3 hours with my little breaks went by really
mm.
really well for me.
Well, you had little
And
breaks, didn't you?
the
That's why.
yeah, not long ones, but
Well, I don't want to assume. Okay, I don't know.
I
I don't know
listen.
what
I
you've
had
been doing on
two.
those breaks.
I had one quick one, and then I had one where I went to the restroom and then I stocked up again on popcorn.
Ah, I see. I should have done that. I should have got extra
Yeah,
popcorn.
yeah, yeah. And
Um,
the crowd was in
okay.
it, man. The crowd was loving it.
See,
Um,
my crowd.
mhm,
I'd love to see the demographic breakdown of the countries that love this, because
hmm,
so I watched this Sunday at 8 p.m. On an IMAX screen. It's the only IMAX screen
mhm,
within probably like a 2-hour radius, right? So it's the only one really that's around for quite a while. With various quite large towns around, with substantial amount of people living in those towns. When I was talking small towns, we're talking like tens, 20s, 50,000 people. And I just walked in on the day, just booked it. It wasn't full by any stretch of the imagination. I could just turn up, and I paid for a ticket there and then. But my theater, they there was genuinely people, because I was getting really annoyed. Because again, I try and focus on the movie, and I want my experience to be as good as possible, so I enjoy it as much as possible. So I stock up on food, I stock up on drink and stuff, so I'm in a good mood. But there was someone to the right of me. It was this old couple, and they kept fucking shuffling around, and you could hear them tutting away because they thought it was going to be over, and they're oh, sighing away. And I'm like, for God, like, can you shut up? Like, it's a long film, okay? Just check your watch. You'll know when it's about to end, okay? Just check your watch. Don't keep
oh,
tutting.
that's
But I
awful.
were, yeah,
That's
it
awful.
was awful. It was awful. It was really annoying. But I
I hate
wonder.
when other people ruin it for you in the theater.
Well, the thing is, but then it ended,
Mhm.
and I've heard, obviously the predominant audience base that I have is American,
Hmm.
and I've heard from commenters on my channel that they had like standing ovations, people clapped, people whooped and hollered. There was just dead silence in my theater, people just getting
Hmm.
up and walking out. no one was like, woo. There wasn't even really any conversation. People were just got up and walked out. It was, oh no, sorry, there were two young girls in front of me, and I heard them say as they got out the door, they're like, "That was a fucking long film." And again, I thought to myself, well, yeah, obviously, why'd you go see
Yeah.
it, you idiot? Do you not check the runtime?
Probably
But
not.
I was just like,
Probably not.
I
Time is
was
a
just like,
different thing
what?
for younger people, definitely.
Yeah, true, yeah, true.
Yeah,
But I wonder if it's
that's funny.
Americans that mainly enjoy this movie. I wonder if the demographic breakdown of enjoyment is geographical.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be really curious to. So, what do you think is the score? Because I thought that was really underwhelming. I thought if you got a John Williams, I said in my review, if you got John Williams to come and do the score, you'd be like, yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it went unnoticed for me,
See,
so I
I think a
guess it was
score should be a
underwhelming.
character.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
other things were characters for me, like the technology and all the new, the new
Mm,
creatures and stuff like that. I gotta tell you, I was very moved with the children learning how to swim and all that, like
mm.
that little mid part was just so amazing. And I gotta think there was music there that served it well.
Yeah, I think there was some sort of operatic,
Yeah.
dramatic to it.
Um, but it wasn't like
Right and stuff.
it was like Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, uh, Elvis, the new Elvis movie, RRR, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Those scores are just on another
Mm.
level. I
Yeah, I
mean,
always
it's
think a good score is a character in and unto
mm-hmm,
itself. Like
mm-hmm,
it makes you feel stuff and it resonates with you.
mm-hmm.
And that's actually what I thought was lacking from Dune as well. I didn't that score
Yes,
didn't feel it that much. In fairness, I got
it was
lambasted for saying
interesting,
that, but I was like, didn't. It
right?
was fine. Like, it just could have
It
been
was like
better. Like for
sounds and stuff, right?
yeah,
Effects,
for a film
right?
that was so cinematically beautiful, the score should have matched. But anyway, I digress away from Avatar. Let's
No,
get back to it.
no, that's part of that's actually part of of our reviews is like
Mm,
musically, how was it? How was the score?
mm.
I again, what did we take away from it? It was just, you know, for me, Cameron's the man. I just thought he killed it. I thought he did a great job, and I can't wait to see the next one.
Do you not
Um,
think? Do you not think that they could have cut some runtime out and it been the same movie though?
yeah, yeah, it could have been cut a little bit for sure, for sure. I mean,
So then, do you not
or
think that what we saw should have been the director's cut released on Blu-ray?
that's a good idea. And if you're gonna do that, right, these long movies where they're past 2 hours and 45 minutes, you need to start having
Mm.
an intermission.
Yeah,
The formula, I go back to Indian cinema only because this year I've been watching a lot of it in theaters. They have intermissions at every 1 hour and 20-minute mark, and then it's the second
I
half
couldn't
will
do
be a
that. 1 hour,
a
20
little
minutes.
shorter, and it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Plus, you get more money. The theater makes more money too
Well, yeah,
because
because
there's
you
intermission.
go yeah, and well, they say theaters dying and they need more money, so that does make sense. So
Hmm.
okay, so
Hmm. Oh, I think Nate is roboting. Well, he is. He's frozen. See if he comes back. All right, he's not back yet.
wait, I'm
Um,
back. I am back. It's just
okay,
taking a little
okay.
while. Pain in the ass. This
I
will
was
be
gonna.
fixed, by the way, ladies and gents. I've got it fixed coming up on Wednesday. It should be fixed. Just as a heads up to everyone.
Yeah.
So this will all be resolved. It's not what I want to do, trust me. But anyway, so obviously, we're opposed on this, right? Like I understand that.
So opposed. I oppose
Yeah,
you,
but
sir.
that's fine. I accept. I accept your opinion. This is the thing. Like
Yes.
I don't want anyone to not like the film, but equally so, I don't want to be told that you can't dislike it yourself. I think a good open discourse is important, and
Hmm.
it just makes for a much more interesting conversation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
not like an
Absolutely.
echo chamber at the very least.
It'd be one thing if it was just a panel all shitting on it, or just a panel all loving on it. It's boring. You know.
Oh, for goodness sake, what is going
Oh,
on? Piece of
is it
shit.
froze? Did you freeze again?
I did, yeah, briefly.
It's the Wokosos are coming after you, man.
That's it. Wakosos, yeah. Sons of bitches.
It's the
Okay,
Xers.
so that's fine.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything I'm going to be able to say. Like, I'm not trying to sway your opinion, right? That's not what I want. I'm not trying to do
No,
that. But I think
I like
any
to
of
hear like why people don't like it. Absolutely. That's
yeah,
that was the same thing that me and Mexican Iron Man got when we vehemently
mm,
hated Wakanda Forever.
mm,
We got a lot of pushback from several communities. You know, why did like I even had like friends of mine like text me, "What's up? Why didn't you like it? What happened?"
because it's crap.
Yeah, so
It's
yeah,
weak. Yeah.
y-
But I think anything that I say will
mhm,
actually be something that you enjoy. So for me, you obviously liked the story, right? For me, I thought it was too thin, and I don't think I don't think a film that is 3 hours 10 minutes has the right to have such a thin story, or contrary to that, or further to that, sorry,
mhm.
have such a thin story was also not because it's 3 hours 10 minutes, not wrapping up plot elements. Like that
Well, I
whale,
just right.
you said so yourself. We spent about 30 minutes with that whale, him getting to know that whale and being like, "Oh, I'm your
Love that
friend,"
whale. What was
and
his
he even
name?
got in it. I don't know,
Oh,
but he even got
so
in a
cool.
hissy fit with his dad about it. He almost got thrown out of the new tribe. All this kind of
Yeah,
stuff, right?
yeah.
But we didn't get any consolation for that whale. The whale came at the end, saved everyone's life, and not saved everyone's life, but you came in.
He
We
came
didn't see
in and he
anyone.
was a
It wasn't
hero. That was the
vindicated.
consolation.
Wasn't
That was his payoff.
but it
He was an
wasn't
outcast.
vindicated. Wasn't
He was
shown.
now
The only thing
to
the
to
only thing that was shown at the end
to
was
his
the
boy.
Sullys,
Yeah, that's all that mattered. Was his
but it's not
was no, to the
because
whale. That's all that mattered, was saving his friend, saving the
no, I
guy,
know,
the son that he was connected to. I thought it was beautiful.
but don't you
But
think?
also
Wouldn't
too,
you?
you're saying that the story it was thin on story.
Mm,
um I think it was thin on kind of the lots have I understand when people are saying it's thin on story. I even just said it's thin on story, and the dialogue's a little
I mean, what
a
is the
little
story? The story is
but
humans come back. New reason for being there. They come back. There's another fight. It's the same. That's the same story as the first one. There's more people and more avatars, humans. They're now learning to be avatars again, like the first one. So there's even shot for shot scenes like the first one with him, Quatrich grabbing one of those flying beasties, right? Like shot for shot the same. Um, and there's elements which are a literal retread from the first one, whilst not furthering it elsewhere,
mhm,
except for, of course, the new water stuff. But a lot of that was the same. So it was, well, these people now need to learn to mount a new beast. It's like, okay, but it's the same thing. You're just learning to mount a beast. But we saw that. What are we learning that's new here? Nothing. There wasn't much movement further forward aside from those kind of retreading elements. And the things which were moved forward weren't elaborated on. So Kiri, or whatever her name was, Kitty Kiri, Sigourney Weaver's
mhm,
character,
mhm,
that went nowhere aside from the culmination of the film being how she used that to save everyone, right? But it still went. It still didn't go anywhere. So and they spent quite a large focus of the film on it, whilst not sort of consolidating that into a coherent point. So
mhm.
it's the point of there's even a
Okay,
massive fight because of it, right?
so
Do you see what I mean?
everything you just said is true, as far as.
But you didn't mind it.
Wait, hold on, hold on. No, 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 no. Like, got you. in regards to the big paintbrush strokes of the story of this part two, right? You knew humans were going to come back, and there's no resolution there. In fact, it's probably gonna be more. There's probably gonna be more of a conflict moving forward. Um, now, I completely disagree with you in that nothing is happening, because so much happens with each family member. Each family member has a journey that we all get invested in. Every single one. I got invested in every single kid, and every single kid had a challenge and rose to it. And we got there. I don't want to spoil it because I think it's really good. And like I said, being a father and a mother, they had their own different set of challenges. Now, are it's intimate storytelling in a sense that you don't expect in this sweeping, fantasy, but I thought it was incredible. I thought there was so much going on with those relationships. So, yeah, in the big scope of things, they run and hide, and they're gonna get they're gonna get they're gonna catch up to them. But while that big world thing is on pause, here's all the stuff that happens. I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just saying that's what I got.
No, I know. Well, we're not trying to convince each other, right?
Right.
We're just conveying our point.
Yeah. Because you say,
Because
you said like nothing happens, and it's like, yes and no. You're right. We can,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
the plot elements which move those things on, which what you're referring to,
the big ones, right?
But the vehicle for that story to unfold is the same as the first movie. So
it's a continuation. It's a continuation, and yeah,
yeah, but
there's a little more. There's a little more to that.
But
there's a little more to it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's broad strokes here, like
But I really,
end up with like a 9-hour stream here to talk about this.
Yeah, well, it's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like it is.
I mean, just take every kid and just take the kids. Like I thought, oh, this is not for me.
I found it really fucking annoying. That's like
what kids are.
Yeah, I know. I know they're annoying. I don't want to watch 3 hours of them going, bro, cuz, family. Like I don't want to watch that.
It wasn't
go
just
watch
that.
Fast and Furious.
It wasn't just
the
that.
predominant wording in this.
It wasn't just that. No, there was a lot more to that. To that language of kids, to the behavior, their adolescence, their rejection of authority. No, it was fantastic. I loved it.
But their dialogue to one another, and they are a focus of the film, their dialogue to one another was, bro, cuz. That was what they kept saying to one another.
Listen, I wasn't looking for that. So up until you got, there's a couple other.
I can't wait for you to watch it again and see whether you're like
complaining about it. But it didn't take away. What I'm saying is that it didn't take anything away from me watching it.
No, exactly, because you're entertained, right? So you're not, but you're not honing in on these things. I wasn't entertained, so I'm listening and I hear bro, and I'm like, what the fuck are you saying bro for? One, it's set in the future, so that sort of dialect shouldn't be there anyway. I understand that they're like, well, it's Na'vi, and so it's not a clear-cut translation to English, etc. I liked how they built that into the story. It was a really quick element. It was, I just hear it and it's just like English now, right? Cool, fine. I like that. It's a quick way to. It's like in Prey, right? When they were dealing with the Comanches, and they just speak English, but then, we hear it outside of that. They're sort of hearing the French, and they obviously hear the Comanche. We're hearing it in French. Does that make sense? Like it's a smart way of doing it in universe. Oh, we just hear it. Cool, no worries, fine. I like that, but it's set in the future. Like set in the future. I don't want to hear bro and cuz, right? People keep The thing is, you can't have it two ways. You can't sit there and say James Cameron's the bestest of all time. He's fucking amazing, and jerk him off and say he's great, whilst also saying, what do you expect him to do? Come up with some language for the future? Yeah, I do. if you're going to sit there and say he's amazing and it's a justified 3.5 hours and he's the best and he can make a story that's paper thin and you're all going to love it and suck it up, yeah, I do expect him to come up with some language that is not so jarring and so current for a film set in the future in a sci-fi world. I don't think that's much to expect if you're going to sit there and claim that he's amazing.
Can we just take
You
a
might
break
say
real
otherwise.
fast? Real fast. We have almost 300 people in the chat, but not even 200 likes. Can y'all hit the like right now, bruh? That'd be really good, cuz.
Cuz you build up family if you did that.
It's all about family.
Dear.
Again, the modern language was there in Avatar with Sully. It was continued. It didn't ruin it for me. If anything,
No,
I
I know,
noticed
'cause
that
you're
he said
entertained.
Jesus
I get it.
Christ a couple times. I'm like, oh,
Did
okay,
he?
that's interesting.
Notice that.
Yeah, I did notice that. Like one
No, I
time
didn't
he
notice
said that. I
that.
think he was complaining about something. He's like, Jesus Christ.
Ah.
You know, there's been modern language in Aliens. You know, the Marines, the way they talk to each other. I mean, Vasquez's first line to Drax when they're checking out Sigourney Weaver, Vasquez says, hey, look, in Spanish, she says, hey, look, Snow White. I'm like, that's such a 20th century reference. You know, I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm cool with it. It didn't, you know, it was funny. I was cool with this language. I had no problem with that. I think when you have a problem with the language, it speaks to something else that you're just, you know, like the runtime, like you're bored, like you're just not enjoying
Well, I'm not
it.
entertained, so I'm
You're not
picking up on
entertained.
stuff, aren't I? Right?
Yeah,
Which
hey,
is
listen,
still
you're only
valid because other people will be
absolutely.
picking up on that and going, you know what? And I wonder again, now having mentioned it, whether that's something that maybe it comes out to you now, you know, when you watch again. I mean, personally, I won't watch this movie again. I've got no reason to watch it. Well, I don't have a. But no, it just as an FYI, I've got to.
Listen.
It is very rare for me to watch any movie again in the cinema. It's so rare. I only did it twice for Joker 1 year, and then I think I did it. I wanted to do it again for Ford versus Ferrari, but I didn't have a chance because we went into lockdown and all that kind of shit.
Great film.
So it's very rare. So that's not an unusual thing. By the way, me saying I won't watch this movie again, it's very rare for me to watch a movie again, unless it's like a legacy film that I really enjoy and you know I sort of keep going back to, or one I'm watching with friends, you know, at home and sort of seeing what their opinion is of it. Which I actually did with Hellraiser recently with a friend of mine that hadn't seen it.
How about Top Gun? Did you see Top Gun twice? What, in the theater?
No, I only saw that once in the theater. I didn't. I like that film. I liked it a lot. Thought it was a really good film. Didn't have a need to watch that twice in the theater though.
I mean, you could say that was kind of thin on a story.
No, it is.
It's pretty simple. It's just very entertaining.
I mean, it is. Yeah, it's a simple story. You are sort of dealing with multiple facets to that, though, aren't you? So you're dealing with the mission at hand. You're dealing with Tom Cruise's sort of interpersonal drama with the Air Forces and his sort of inability
being obsolete.
Being obsolete and that sort of old and that's self-referential to him as an actor in his career, going through a resurgence as well, which is quite, you know, when you look at it like that, it's actually quite deep. But then also you're dealing with the repercussions of the first movie and the death and obviously how that affects the interpersonal relationships moving forward and in relation to the mission at hand. So it is, but also isn't to me, I guess. Which I guess
same
is
here.
the same.
And that's how I feel about Avatar. And that's how I
Yeah.
feel about Avatar too.
Yeah. I just didn't like it. I just honestly thought it was a bit poo. It was boring.
You know what? That's fine, man.
No, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm honestly glad you enjoyed it.
I don't think it made it did not make my top 5 movies of the year.
I was gonna say, is it movie of the year for you? Because some people are like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. I'm like, really? You need to watch more films.
It's up there. But you know, I had my 5 cemented. I know Robert Meyer Burnett put it at number 2 on his list. He had a great list. You know,
sorry, it was my number 2 on Meyer Burnett's list.
Yeah.
I'd love to pick his brains on why.
Yeah, we should have him on.
What was number 1?
His number one was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay, a good choice.
So was film critic Rosa Parra. That was her number one. Mine was RRR. Everything Everywhere All at Once was my number three. We all had Top Gun on our list. We all
Yeah,
like
that was a great film.
three of the four of us. Cameron Pasha did not have it. Cameron had Elvis as number one. I loved Elvis. That's a great flick. So yeah, he had it at Robert Meyer had it at number two. And I gave it an honorable mention because it just blew me away, and I just seen it too.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not. It's. I think with these films, do I watch them again? Do I share them with family members? You know, do I take them? And I'm definitely going to do with Avatar. I've done that with all the films in my top five. I mean, Pinocchio, I saw it in the theater. During the closing credits, I was crying, and I called my dad and I called my mom. I mean, it's so amazing how Guillermo
in the closing
retells that
credits
story.
that people were annoyed with you getting your phone out.
Right. I was like, actually, I was the only one that stayed. Jokers. People leave quick. They don't like that.
They could have all overheard your conversation. You see?
No,
They missed out.
I'm embellishing. I walked out and I called. Yeah, Elvis did shock me. I couldn't believe how good Elvis was, and that soundtrack is killer. Killer. What they did with the music.
Yeah, that's a film I unfortunately, just didn't get around to see.
It's on
my agenda.
It's on HBO Max.
You don't have well, I don't have HBO Max here anyway. I've got other means to watch bits and pieces like that. Okay, all right, interesting stuff then. Interesting stuff.
Have we done?
And so, what did you think of the? No. So, what did you think of the 3D? Do you think the 3D was a good use of 3D? Because I still don't like 3D. I've never liked 3D. And I said in my review that I think, Avatar 1 gave the best 3D experience you probably could have. But to me, it still doesn't justify sitting there with a stupid pair of glasses on, being uncomfortable on your nose. I just don't see the. I don't know. I just don't see the appeal to 3D overall. I've never seen the appeal. And I also found, again, going back to this, I don't know if you felt this, because some people responded in the comments to this, was that I had to look dead straight on at the screen, because if I moved my head ever so slightly, it would be quite blurry. The screen was blurry. So even like 10 degrees, 5 degrees, something like this, a slight tilt of the head, just looking slightly off center. I couldn't dart my eyes around the image, basically. I had to kind of move my head and look at the image specifically. Otherwise, it was all blurry. Did you find that, or did you not notice it? You're probably something you didn't notice, in fairness.
Yeah, I didn't have that problem. I loved the 3D. I thought it was so cool, man. Again, especially when they're underwater. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record. I don't care. It was gorgeous. It was amazing. So cool. It made Wakanda Forever underwater scenes look like Wakaka Forever. It looked like, caca water. It looked like dirty shit.
Oh,
water.
yeah. Like Wakanda Forever's water scenes were terrible.
Terrible. This was just, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. So yeah, the 3D was killer.
Sorry. Would you like 3D anyway?
Yeah, I do.
Right, well, there you go then. My point stands.
But I know when but I know when, like, that didn't need to be in 3D. Like Ghost Jungle Cruise, no. Gravity,
yeah.
Certain films. Yeah, this one.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Like the Star Wars movies, it did not need to see those in 3D. That was just such a waste of money.
Oh, goodness me, why would you do that?
Wow.
Okay, cool. Well, let's get to some super chats. And ladies and gents, if you want to support the channel, please do. Super chats are a great way to do it. And obviously hitting that thumbs up button, all that good stuff, the normal kind of things that you would do. But so let me just scroll down. So we had Our first super chat of the day came from Zane Mayasi. Say for £4.49 says, what got Cameron into Avatar? Why didn't he want to do more Aliens and Terminator? I think the Planet of the Apes has the best CGI. And this I guess is a really pertinent point to go with, isn't it? Right. So you like this film. Can you see them making like 5 Avatar films with this story? Like, where do you think it's going to go? Would you watch 5 Avatar films, even though you liked it? Like, can you see them dragging it out for that long, even though you freely admit that the story wasn't massively deep?
It actually was deep.
Okay, but you know what I mean.
The story, the overall
Themes were
through
deep.
line. The overall through line. Let me correct myself. The overall through line was thin. Before I saw this Avatar, I was like, no, this is what a stupid idea. They have 3, they have 5 movies lined up. Now,
Okay.
give me more. I want a franchise. I want this. Yes, this is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
But would you prefer Avatar films over Cameron doing a Terminator film?
No. Terminator. Give me Terminator. Give me Aliens first. I love the Aliens.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Terminator, true. Aliens. Yeah. I would probably want to. That's But see, the thing is, he probably feels that he's evolved from that.
He's on a different plane of existence. Might say he's on Pandora.
After the abyss, he is, ascended.
Fucking hell. Goddamn, descended. Right, so Night King 01 for $10 says the criticism of this movie shouldn't be that it's a retread of Fern Gully and Dances with Wolves, because The Last Samurai is liked for that reason. Criticize the script and the characters, they're weak. I personally agree. I know Paulie won't agree, but this is why this is an interesting stream for people to watch. Hopefully, is that no one's shouting at one another, no one's saying people shouldn't have an opposing opinion. We both respect one another for having a different opinion, and having a platform where we can discuss it freely and civilly. So hopefully, this has been an interesting topic for the start of this stream. I mean, personally, yeah, like I do think the script is very weak. I personally think James Cameron and the writers spending 13 odd years or however it's long to release this film and give us such weak dialogue. I just think it's slightly insulting, personally, because I also don't think that the VFX sort of justify such a long wait. I don't know. I just don't think that they do. Yeah, Planet of the Apes had great CGI, great motion capture. I mean, I'd have to compare them side by side, and I might be wrong, but I don't know whether the last Planet of the Apes is dwarfed, significantly by this Avatar film in terms of the effects quality. Maybe it is. I don't know, but without referencing it, I don't think it was. I could be wrong. And yeah, I think something a bit deeper on the script would be warranted for having spent so long on it. What do you think?
I do think the wait was a little too long, and you almost had to you're restarting everyone's pop culture consciousness again on this. So maybe I would have been a little clever and maybe re-release Avatar 6 months ago, something, because it's almost a new generation now.
Yeah, true, but it is. It's a whole new generation,
right?
So over a decade,
right? So that being said, I still want to see more movies. I don't need this to be Shakespeare. I think there is enough conflict in it that had me invested, and then along with the beauty of the film was just like blew me away.
All right,
but yeah, I do think it was too long of a wait, because I want to make it clear, like I didn't think that was good. Like this to me was not on my to excited about list.
I don't think you really cared about it that much, did you? You just
not at all. Not at all. I even told you.
You booked it on the last stream, wasn't it? It was literally last Tuesday you booked it on that stream.
Correct. We were booking. It's right. We were looking. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go. Chris Gore. I sat next to Chris. It was his second time. I think he's seen it 3 or 4 times now.
Goodness, no. I honestly, I couldn't do it. I don't have the time for that either. Fucking hell, man. Goodness me. Honestly, do you know how long it took? It was like a 5-hour trip in total to watch this fucking movie for me. Like 40 minutes to get there, 40 minutes to get back.
Same
3.5 odd hours.
Same for me.
God.
The theater that we go to.
And the popcorn was fine, but it wasn't that good. Can't justify.
Yeah, popcorn was good. What did I have to eat? I think I had I had the garlic pretzel bits.
Oh, we don't do our bloody cinema food shit here in the UK. We do nachos, and you're like, oh, what is this drivel that they're giving us?
There's a horrible nacho.
I'm like, can you give me more jalapenos, please? And they're like, more. I'm like, yeah, more, please.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want them doused. I want my nachos to be dripping in jalapenos.
Speaking of jalapenos, I agree. Me and my mom went shopping yesterday, and afterwards we went to have burgers, and mine had jalapenos on them, and she's like, "Give me some of those."
Jalapenos were they pickled jalapenos?
Yes,
I love it. Love a pickled jalapeno. Best thing ever.
It was like a Texas style cheeseburger. It was delicious, grilled. Flame broiled, grilled, flame broiled.
I'm salivating at the thought. I love a pickled jalapeno.
Oh yeah,
so good.
But that's too bad. That's too bad that you got gypped off your nachos there.
It's not cool. Not cool. So Al Humphreys for £3 did a thumbs up super sticker. Thank you so much, good sir. And everyone else, if you could hit that thumbs up button, that would be great.
Please, we're almost over 200.
Awesome. Oh yeah, we should definitely come on, guys. Get it over 200. I'd appreciate that. Dial Tone for $10 says, true story, #1 Avatar theater seats. I scented the Axe deodorant behind me. A dad with a daughter with 2 other girlfriends when Axe was commercialized as female attractant. Creepazoid. Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one to smell and see, isn't it? You'd be like, what's this? Dad and a daughter with 2? Okay, yeah, no. That's where you turn around real quick. Be like, I don't want to get involved in this. This is weird. Larry Quadowitz for $10 says, hello, Mr. H and Paulie. Proud to be using my Clown World mug at the moment. Thanks. I don't know if I've got my mug anymore. I think it broke. Or maybe I've got it. One of my mugs broke anyway. Did you see the trailer for Brandon Cronenberg's Infinity Pool? He has a perfect record with Antiviral and Possessor. I'm hyped. I did. I couldn't really do like a trailer reaction to it because it's it's pretty gory. Have you seen this trailer?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's I mean, can you get it up?
What's it called?
Right, that's funny you're phrasing there. It's called Infinity Pool because my sound doesn't work. Remember, I've had so many issues with the sound.
Need to pull.
So if you can pull it up, we'll watch it together briefly. Hopefully, it won't get striked or anything like that.
It shows that I did watch it. That's kind of weird.
Oh well, there you go. Then.
No, but
he's watched it, everyone. He's forgotten it.
Well, it was like halfway through. All right, you want me to bring it up?
Yeah, I mean, if you let's watch it together.
Alrighty, we're gonna watch this now.
Yeah. Chuck the music on.
Here we go.
I don't understand why we're doing this. We barely know these people.
It's one day. Let's mix things up a bit.
You're just happy you found your fan club.
I've been waiting 6 years for your second book. Is it coming out soon?
Oh, yes.
I have working on it.
What do you do for money then?
Maya Goth.
He married rich.
I actually came here looking for inspiration.
And that's a
great framing. Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
Great framing.
Ooh.
Mr. James Foster, you'll have to come with us.
Here, the punishment for any crime committed is death.
What?
Any.
Any crime.
but for a significant sum, we'll build a double to send in for your execution.
Double.
Wow.
Yeah,
Whoa.
very Cronenberg.
Looks just like me.
What a setup. She's kind of hot. The wife.
Maybe think of it as a gift. It's like a new skin working into place.
Oh.
It's for you to complete your transformation.
This is just a little game.
It's just batshit.
But I can take some blood.
Oh. Yes.
Show me how strong you are. It's really disgusting. You could just sit there
Bro, I'm so in. I'm so in.
and watch it
Yeah,
happen.
man.
I'm so in. Great cast.
Yeah.
You know, James, if you worry they got the wrong man.
Nice. Now I get the title. Oh, and it's Brandon Cronenberg.
Yeah, well, it's very Cronenberg-esque, isn't it? There, it seems that Mia is sort of turning into the kind of it girl with horror now, isn't she?
She
She
well,
was
yeah,
in
her
X
and
all the Ty
her and
West
Jenna
stuff.
Ortega.
Yeah.
But Mia is gonna do that third film, Maxine, part of that whole
Mm.
X universe. It was Pearl,
Yeah.
X, and Maxine. And
Yeah.
this is a movie that Romy will watch because we love
Oh,
this type of
really?
Oh, yeah.
Slashes.
Dude, she is like a slasher thriller. She likes to figure it out. You know,
Interesting.
the more twists to those types of
Yeah.
stories. You know, she doesn't just like the trashy slasher. She'll turn
Mm.
that shit off in a second. That's right up our alley. We'll go to the theater to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I well, there's some really good horrors on the horizon, and that
Mhm.
yeah, really caught my attention.
Who told us to see that? Thank you. That was great.
It was Larry Kwartowitz.
Thank you, Larry.
Dropped it in. Yeah, I
Love
just
it.
think so he did Antiviral and Possessor as well. That's Brandon Cronenberg's previous two films.
Okay. Is he related?
As Larry says. Yeah, he's related.
You can see the influence.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's great. Like that's, and I bet you anything the budget would be tiny on that film.
Oh yeah. Yeah, probably for location is probably going to be a lot. Those actors now are commanding more money. Skarsgård but maybe they got them. Maybe they shot it last year. You know, but Skarsgård's on fire right now.
Yeah, he's sort of like a hot property, isn't he? I'm trying to find the budget.
Cool,
I don't
man.
think it's much though.
No, yeah. When is that coming out?
It would have said on that thing, I think.
Oh God, I wasn't paying attention.
Great.
Again, it's like I'm like, all right, come on, entertain me.
It will be released January 27th. So
Nice.
next month. Yeah.
And that's going back to Avatar. It's got a good well over a month before anything is going to challenge it at all.
Yeah, I
At
know,
all,
but I
as far
don't
as-
think. I think with the. I just think with the recession and the people's general inability to sort of say exactly what they enjoyed about it, I don't know whether it'll get the as good a word of mouth as the first one. The first one had such great word of mouth because it was brand new. It was an immersion of CG. We've had lots of CG now. We've had 3D. People know what 3D is, and people generally don't like 3D. So I don't know if it'll hit the same thing. Like it's not the same cultural sort of.
Well, I told you it needed needed a
newness. I guess.
I told you it needed a reset. You know, who was it? Chris? Someone said they saw Avatar the other day, and like they're surprised how well it still holds up. That should have been part of this marketing to get it out there again.
Yeah,
you know,
well, they did, didn't
they?
They did release it. They did release it again.
They re-released it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they re-released it in theaters for like a week only or something like that. 2 weeks, week only. something along those
Yeah.
lines.
Okay.
Yes, but anyway, moving back to Infinity Pool.
Yes.
Love the look of that. Absolutely
Yep.
love the look of that. Looks like lots of really good practical VFX as well, which I'm all about. Which obviously Cronenberg's all about as well. Obviously, you know, the dad.
Yeah.
So
Great
yeah, like
setup. Great premise.
the
The
good
trailer didn't
actors,
give away too
really
much.
good actors.
Great actors. I mean, that Cleopatra Coleman. I mean, what a looker.
Yeah. But I
No.
think Mia's an interesting woman as well, isn't she? Because she's clearly like there's sort of well, just an interesting look. Someone that can look simultaneously quite attractive whilst also somewhat disturbing. Which I think she does quite well in that trailer. Anyway, there's a lot of the ability to sort of emote on the face, adds a lot of that sort of screen presence as well. Sort of big expressions, especially in that trailer. So yeah, I look forward to that. Look forward to that film. So get us some more super chats here. We've got Mr. Tickle Trunk for $2 Canadian says Paul is the man of many hats on point today. Just as Paulie disappears, everyone. Probably going to go eat some snacks again.
No, Merry Christmas. My Christmas hat. I got 3 different Christmas hats.
Yeah. There you go. Tom working for $5 says Avatar needed a lead up, a built upon universe between now and the original. Where was that? I agree. They released like one comic, I believe, and there was a brief game as well at a certain point, but that kind of went nowhere. Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't. Yeah, I said in my review, I feel like Avatar should have been a TV series. Personally, that's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it should have been a TV series. I think with a movie, people, not everyone, obviously, because my opinion is not shared by everyone. But I think, people generally speaking want a, conclusion to some of the story threads, but they are less inclined to be as they're more forgiving of those things when it's in a series format, because they're like, maybe it'll be the next episode, or maybe it'll be the next episode that'll be concluded. I think this just should have been a TV series, personally. I don't think you can, obviously, because it costs too much money, but that would have been where it's best placed, I think, for that type of storytelling.
Maybe the story, but just the spectacle of it. Movie theater, man.
I don't think so. I think like a 55-inch TV, good surround sound system. The music wasn't extra special, so sound I don't really care about. Like, I think a good TV, you got the same. Well, it didn't. The sound was shit in that. And IMAX 3D, I expect the sound to be really good as well, and the sound was fine. Like, it wasn't. I didn't notice anything that was incredible about the sound mixing. I wasn't like looking around like, oh, I can hear a whale behind me. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, it wasn't. I don't know. Like, it to me, it should have been. I should have had that, right? Well, no, but you should, right? Like,
I know what you mean.
Sound.
No, I know what you
IMAX
mean.
3D, it is surround sound. They even tell you at the start of the trailers that in IMAX 3D will take you from a pin drop to a whatever, blah blah blah. And I didn't hear anything around me. I don't know. It seemed the mixing seemed off. But yeah, whatever. Nikki for $5 says, dudes. I resent that. I'm not a dude. I'm Latinx.
Bruz. Cuz.
Says, you need to check out the new Three Musketeers movie coming out in France with Ava Green. Trailer looks amazing. I saw people talking about that. I never actually watched the trailer for that though.
So I gotta step out for a minute. But I'll be right back, Nate. Okay.
All right, man.
I have a family member just showed up. Okay.
Good.
Thanks.
Go say hello. Tom working for $5 says, on the horror tip, Chucky series, I've oddly dug it, you guys, ? Well, I'm not obviously going to speak for Paul. I don't know. I liked a lot of the first season, but I checked out. I think I was moving at the time or getting ready to move. Can't remember. So yeah. But yeah, moving on. Just as a quick one, because Paul is not here. Just to throw it out there. So normally I do a Christmas Eve live stream. Big thing I normally do Christmas Eve because it's the anniversary of the channel and that sort of thing. And so I like to do it, and I like to be there for people who are alone across the Christmas period. Generally speaking, because you know most people are alone. If they're alone, they're alone the whole Christmas period. But it turns out this year slightly different. I will be busy on Christmas Eve, which is very unusual for me. I'll be traveling, and then I should be coming back on Christmas Day. So the likelihood is that it'll be a Christmas Day live stream, which I understand, fully appreciate. Not everyone will be able to attend. I get that. And then I'll be relatively drunk as well. So it'll just be me hanging out, usual old format of live streams, just to hang out basically. So look for that. It'll be on the day, it'll just sort of pop up. So turn your notifications on, or follow me over on Twitter at Mr. Reviews, and I'll tweet it out. And you know, if you put your notifications on Twitter, you'll get notified. If not, obviously you won't know. But it might be early, usual sort of time of a stream, or maybe around this time, an hour later, something like that. We'll see. We'll see. But I know for certain I won't be streaming on Christmas Eve, which I know is a break from the norm. It's unusual for me, but I will be, I'll be traveling and then coming back on Christmas Day. Sort of Christmas Day lunchtime, I'll be back, and then I need to sort of settle back in and grab some bits and pieces and, you know, do my normal shit that I do. Also, just as another thing to throw out there for not Christmas, but live streaming in general, is that so a lot of people, you know, like this format, and I'm so glad that you guys do. I worked really hard to get a good panel guests on and things like that. So I'm glad people respond to it. But there are still people that prefer the old format, and I get that as well. It's more personable. The likelihood is that that will probably come back, but say on like a Sunday offhand. Just every now and then on a Sunday, I'll drop in for a hangout stream. Won't be drunk or anything. I don't really drink that much anyway, but I definitely won't be drinking on a Sunday. Except for this Sunday, because that'll be Christmas. So I'm sort of breaking what I've just said, but you get my drift. So that will probably come back on Sundays or periodically during the week, just every now and then when I've got some sort of free time. So if you enjoyed the old format where it's just me sort of hanging out, that will be coming back. I've had, although we fixed all the Wi-Fi here, which took ages, I've still had Wi-Fi issues. You've even seen in this stream, but that should be fixed from tomorrow. So I'll be able to live stream a bit more regularly. So there you go, basically. Hopefully you guys, that sort of covers all of that. Al Humphrey says, will there be a Christmas Day unboxing, Mr. H? No, because I've only got, I say only, I've not really promoted any of the PO box for a while, but I've got two things on the PO box, which I think were probably both from you, Al, and they are literally down in the corner there at the moment. So I may unbox them. I was actually going to do just a video beforehand, but maybe I'll do it on Christmas Day. It'll be in a video for sure. So anyway, moving on. So someone says that The Rock has just released a statement on Twitter about everything that's happening, the rumors and things. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay, so yeah, The Rock, Twitter. So there's obviously been a lot of there's been a lot of stuff happening with respect to The Rock and the rumors of DC. He's just released this 13 minutes ago, sort of breaking news. And so he says the following. My passionate friends, I wanted to give you a long-awaited Black Adam update regarding the character's future in the new DC universe. James Gunn and I connected, and Black Adam will not be in their chapter of storytelling. However, DC and $7 have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters. What the fuck? James and I have known each other for years and have always rooted for each other to succeed. It's no different now, and I will always root for DC and Marvel to win and win big. You guys know me, and I have very thick skin, and you can always count on me to be direct with my words. These decisions made by James and DC leadership represent their vision of DCU through their creative lens. After 15 years of relentless hard work to finally make Black Adam, I'm very proud of the film we delivered for fans worldwide. I'll always look back on the fan reaction to Black Adam with tremendous gratitude, humility, and love. We did great. To my very passionate and vocal Black Adam superhero genre fans, I love you, thank you, and I will always listen to you and do my best to deliver and entertain you. What a hell of a month. Now we all need some Terramana. That's his tequila thing, isn't it, I think? Have a productive week and happy holidays to you and your families. You know what that actually says to me, ladies and gents? It says he's been fired. He's been told that the film didn't make enough money and they're not going to bring him back, but they're leaving the door open just in case. That's literally it. Goodness me. It is sad for The Rock. I mean, he literally says after 15 years of relentless hard work to get Black Adam made. I mean, that's... Goodness me. I mean, at this point, like, James Gunn should just come out and be like, yeah, we're just rebooting everything. What's the point? Like, just coming out and say it's all done. Just this fact, you know, James Gunn and I connected, and Black Adam will not be in their chapter of storytelling. It says in their first chapter of storytelling. However, DC and $7 have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters. But what would be the point? What would be the point? What would be the point in that? Yeah. Oh God, Paul, I wish you were here so we could talk about this. Ladies and gents, what do you guys think? Let's have a look at the chat. So we got Waldemar Perez Jr. says, so The Rock got the boot too. Yeah, basically he's just been fired, just been canned. And so Duck Nation says, so the multiverse is alive, but we can't have Henry. No, I think this is a very roundabout way of him saying we're done. I mean, that is what it is. We're done, isn't it? They're not continuing anything in any way, shape, or form, which I don't think is a bad. I don't think it is a bad decision. I think ultimately they should have rebooted anyway, but it's how you go about it. How do you go about rebooting everything? You know, do you build narratively to a culmination point where it makes sense on a narrative level, or do you just do a hard set reboot, which is what they're doing? I personally like the, sort of narrative in universe building to a reboot, not a hard set, just because you just piss everyone off at that point. Because the people for a pro reboot, that can't come soon enough, and the sort of dilly-dallying and pissing around is painful to them. They just want everything announced so they can start enjoying it. And for the people that want the old stuff, just having a hard set reboot is insulting to them because they obviously invested so much time and energy in the old stuff. And so I think, like, a hard set reboot is never positive for anyone all around. Like, I think building to it culmination wise makes a lot more sense. Olaf Van S says Gunn wants to start with a clean slate and not suffer with the mess anyone made before him, with cheaper, younger, new cast for longer duration of movies. Yeah, he does. But the thing is, not very few people want to see a bloody origin film for Superman again, although he's refuted that. But that's not the case. You can say that it's not going to be an origin story, but it's not an origin story only in the most sort of pedantic sense. It is an origin story. He wouldn't have even met Lois Lane, and we're seeing him become a reporter. It's an origin story. It's still him finding himself. So yeah, and then this comment is very justified as well. How can Aquaman and the Flash be sold now with fans knowing the changes are happening? Will the film tank? I don't think very few people wanted to watch The Flash anyway. And The Flash was the perfect point that they could have used to build to in universe, right? You know, build to a flashpoint, have everyone turn up, final movie. Yeah, it would have cost some money to do the reshoots. Oh, excuse me. But you could do it. You could definitely do it. But they're not doing that. Waldemar Perez Jr. says, but I wonder if Gal Gadot and Margot Robbie are out as well. I really hope Margot Robbie is out. I don't like her as Harley Quinn at all. He's she's not someone I like as Harley Quinn. I mean, she's easy on the eyes, but that's about it, unfortunately. I find her accent to be incredibly grating, not so much like the animated series iteration that actually spawned the character. I never found that one to be that irritating. I just don't like Margot Robbie's iteration of the character. I find it to be fucking just ridiculous. It sounds like they're taking beats from the original Superman movie with Reeves. Yeah, but we want to move on. Like I want to see Superman battling Brainiac, you know, properly. Like, that'd be great. Someone who can match him on wits and strength, and not that Superman's the most intelligent individual in the comic book space, but someone that can match him on wits and strength and things, and actually be a threat. That'd be great. I'm not interested in watching a sort of a Superboy run around. Not interesting. So yeah, from The Rock, Black Adam took ridiculously long time being made, and now it's gone. How long ago was that? 20 minutes. Yeah, okay, so fair while. 20 minutes. Loads of people chiming in. So I just wanted to refresh just to see. I think this is. Oh, Paulie, what do you think?
I just got here. What's going on? Is this new?
Yeah, man. Black Adam.
Whoa.
The Rock. Basically, he's done. He's booted from DC. He tweeted this out. My passionate friends, I wanted to give you a long-awaited Black Adam update regarding the character's future in the new DC universe. James Gunn and I connected, and Black Adam will not be in their first chapter of storytelling. However, DC and $7 have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters. James and I have known each other for years and have always rooted for each other to succeed. It's no different now, and I will always root for DC and Marvel to win and win big. You guys know me, and I have very thick skin, and you can always count on me to be direct with my words. These decisions made by James and DC leadership represent their vision of DCU through their creative lens. After 15 years of relentless hard work to finally make Black Adam, I'm very proud of the film we delivered for fans worldwide. I will always look back on the fan reaction to Black Adam with tremendous gratitude, humility, and love. We did great. To my very passionate and vocal Black Adam superhero genre fans, I love you, thank you, and I will always listen to you and do my best to deliver and entertain you. What a hell of a month. Now we all need some Terramana. What do you think? I said that as quickly as I could, Paulie.
Yeah. Wow.
But he's done, isn't it? He's not going to be back in any multiverse stuff. That'll be the point.
That's
it.
A
hard reset.
Damn.
And it's brutal for him. It literally says
brutal for him, but
years of hard work.
Yeah. We all knew that he wasn't going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Black Adam was fun, but it wasn't very forgettable. You know, I mean, and forgettable film, and it was a flop, right?
Yeah, it was a big flop. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a big flop. So yeah, interesting. I mean, you know, him saying, "Well, we could explore it in the multiverse," and that's not happening, mate.
No,
come on now, behave.
None of this is happening. He's done. It's done. That iteration of Black Adam is done.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy times, man. Crazy.
I mean, that was very nicely and professional.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
And people are going nuts, huh?
Wow. Yeah. Where was it? I keep seeing it floating around.
What's that?
The new Avengers. Who the new Avengers lineup will be? Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. It was trending, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the image because it wasn't very good.
It looked Avengers.
A bit poop. Let's get to some super chats came in. Tom Working says, hard set reboot back in the day meant the ultimate Marvel universe. The New 52, is that what Gunn is going to do? Well, the new logo for DC is New 52. It is the New 52 logo. So yeah, maybe. Gary for £5 says, to me, it sounds like he's ditched Cavill and sold out if he gets to come back in a multiverse, and Cavill gets nothing. But Cavill's on to bigger and better things. He's literally going to be the Kevin Feige of a Warhammer universe now. So I honestly don't think Henry Cavill gives that much of a fuck, quite frankly, to put it bluntly. Did you hear about this, Paulie?
What's that?
That Henry Cavill is going to be basically leading a Warhammer universe, a sort of a cross pollination, a massive, just a big. I don't know what to call it. A big.
So it's not just a movie; it's a whole universe. It's a whole thing of. Story.
Basically, it's going to be a pretty big deal, and he's going to be in charge of it. It's something which he is doing. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, he's got a lot of love from the fans right now. So, yeah. But I'm still processing that rock thing. And I did find that image of the Avengers.
Oh, did you? Can you share it? We'll have a look at this new Avengers. Oh, all right.
I like what this guy says. That's pretty funny.
So this is rumored, ladies and gents, to be the new Avengers, right? So we've got Sam Wilson. It is Sam Wilson, isn't it?
Captain America. It's a Sam Wilson iteration of Captain America.
Yeah. So Sam Wilson, Captain America, Shuri's Black Panther, Ant-Man.
Yep.
Got Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. She-Hulk. And Shang-Chi. I mean, they're not bringing out their A game, are they?
I mean, this is not even the B team.
No, it's not actually. I mean, this is not. I mean, look, Brie Larson's great on the eyes, right? I'll watch her. I'll watch her for physicality wise. I think she's, as much as I dislike her as a person, I think she's a very attractive woman. So I'd happily watch her. Being a raging misogynist that I am. She's got to fucking own it, haven't I? These days, everyone thinks it, so I might as well own it. But
right.
But I'm not. These characters suck, right? Like, what are you going to have? Like, can you? The main thing is, right? The main thing about this is, can you imagine their chemistry on screen? Because I can't. And that's when you think of the Avengers, they built up the chemistry quite nicely across all of the films, and it worked. And you also have the sort of core element of that was Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, and he stuck it together. And I think what they'll do here is they will have Ant-Man being the glue of this new team to, keep everyone connected chemistry-wise. But everyone else, or She-Hulk, but I can't see the chemistry here. Can you?
Look, I don't. I think one character has endeared themselves to audiences, and that's the Ant-Man.
Yeah,
and that's it. That's what matters most. None of these characters have left a mark with audiences that's positive.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. And Ant-Man was always. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I liked the Falcon when he was the Falcon. I thought he was good as the Falcon. But really he's a supporting character.
Well, all
he was
these guys are.
never.
That's what
Yeah,
I was gonna say
yeah.
with Ant-Man. Ant-Man was always just the supporting comedic character in the Avenger movies
Mm.
when he showed up.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
It's not good, is
I
it?
love.
And this is how are they going to sell this? Like, and also as well, you know, if true, this will be a cakewalk for Kang, and it's like, well,
Yeah, I love that.
yeah,
What E-Man says. I know I've seen that guy's channel, and I love that he said there's gonna be a cakewalk for Kang. I mean, should be.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they're not. I just, I think, how do you sell this? Yeah. The only other person that could be the connective tissue because of how they've promoted her in terms of characterization would be She-Hulk. But I don't think she's endeared herself to the audiences. So I don't think anyone could be that bothered with it either, really.
Well, listen, even if it's fan made, who do we have in going into, was it phase 5 and 6?
Yeah,
that
5
could
and
be
6.
that could be the Avengers, guys.
Well, no wonder anymore. Doctor Strange is still technically around.
Yeah, I mean, Strange should have been the tentpole for the new Avengers, absolutely. But they know they're not going to do that because he's white.
Well, he could. He could have
honest.
easily been. He could have easily been the Iron Man character, couldn't he? Like he has the quips and stuff. Like he's very quick-witted, very dry.
People in audiences loved him.
You know, he's got facial hair that Iron Man had as well. You know,
yeah, that second movie was horrible.
Oh yeah, it was awful. Not good. All of Phase 4 sucked. But there's no. Where's the heavy hitters? I mean, Brie Larson, I guess, is the heavy hitter character. That's it. Who else? I mean, Falcon is literally just a man. He's not even on super steroids that Captain America was on.
Yeah. Carlo Belton says Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, War Machine, New Black Widow, Hulk.
I don't think War Machine's not been in enough for you to see him as anyone other than a sort of a B character or C-list character at this point. That would have worked, but also aren't his legs still broken? Some shit like that. His legs were broken in one of the films, weren't they?
I don't know, man. None. Even that lineup is not interesting for me. Also, too, you know, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man have done a lot of things together already.
Yeah, true.
Hulk, New Black Widow. I don't mind Florence Pugh.
Yeah, Florence Pugh.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's terrible. This is just terrible, guys.
Well, just as an FYI, guys, this is not confirmed, right? Like we are just speculating here. But if this is true, this is a bad lineup. Like I can't see them gathered around striking a superhero pose and everyone going, "Yeah." I just don't see it. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't see that. Mainly because they've not in Shang-Chi's. He didn't endear himself to audiences, you know, at all. We had She-Hulk, the lowest rated Marvel series out there. And Brie Larson, sure, fine, I guess. Like, was supposedly a really well sold movie, but they didn't double down and go, you know, balls deep on that character, figure of speech, because for whatever reason, who knows? They obviously thought that she wasn't made for it. I mean, even in a second movie, she's now part of an ensemble, so they obviously didn't think she could carry another film, right? Like that's just logic. She was supposed to have a film by herself. but they sidelined her now as part of an ensemble cast. So I don't know. I don't think it looks good. Anyway, if this is true, not good. Not good.
Well, let's just be honest. You know, the Phase 4, the movies and the TV shows, none of them have vaulted those superheroes like the first couple of phases of the MCU. I mean, I don't care about any of them, and I you know, and also too, these movies, even though I liked Shang-Chi in the movie theater, I can't say that now after seeing it again. And they're just really forgettable at best. Okay, movies, but really they're all pretty bad. They're all pretty bad. They're all really bad films, guys.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and then the TV shows were even more forgettable. And again, I liked Miss Marvel, but it's Miss Marvel. She's a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I
It
mean, the
seems
only
that
good thing about Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Isn't that when that she hosted?
Yep.
Yeah,
Anyway.
she can look good. She can look good. She, you know.
Could bring out a misogynist in me. Sorry.
Yeah. So bad.
Right. So we've got another sort of update, I guess, on DC. Not really, but also sort of really. So there's obviously loads of rumors coming around. Massive rumors. When are they going to announce stuff? What's going on? James Gunn was asked very clearly today, how many projects will be announced in January, more or less? A few, is what James Gunn says. A few. At least a few DC projects will be announced in January. And I'm hoping as well that sort of element will give you, well, I'm sure it will anyway, like a sort of a good indication of where they're going with the universe as a whole. And not only that, we had Zach Levi respond to the rumor that he's done as the hero. So no one knows. Well, obviously, with Black Adam now being, you know, The Rock being fired, Henry being fired, it would be weird to keep certain elements. How do you justify keeping certain elements and not the others? So obviously, it was tweeted to, says, I want this not to be true because Shazam is the one thing in the DCEU I would absolutely throw hands for to protect. Zachary Levi is perfection. To which Zachary Levi responded, ooh, I really wouldn't go believe everything you see on the internet. I'm Gucci, Ash. We all Gucci. Do you think? Do you think that he's saying, I'm happy, it's fine, or I'm safe? Because that could mean two things there, couldn't it? Well, it could, right? Like, says, I'm Gucci, we all Gucci. Is that him saying, don't worry about it, you don't need to throw hands for me, I'm happy, I'm fine? Or, no, I'm safe, we're not being recast?
I really don't even know what that means. Like Gucci, like
Hey, come on, you know, bro
brand.
and cuz. You know, bro and cuz from
No,
Avatar.
meaning like
you should know
meaning
Gucci.
like
Come
he's
on now.
such a great hot brand like Gucci, like he's untouchable.
I'm good. I'm safe. Yeah, I'm great. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
all
multifaceted,
Gucci.
I guess.
We all good. I'm good. But that's so lame. Sure, why not?
What, the phrase is lame? Oh my god.
I'm Gucci.
I mean, the
Ash,
phrase
we
is
all
lame.
Gucci.
I agree. You know,
Right,
I'm not
just
down
saying
with all
that
these fucking kids either. But my point is,
But the point, the question is why is James Gunn and Zach and all these people, why are they tweeting, man? Why are they
I
responding?
know.
to
Just
people?
release it. Stop.
Just shut up and go create, man. What do you care about people on Twitter? I'm really like, they must have given Gunn a lot of power and leeway because his behavior lately on Twitter, it's just like, dude, why you are entertaining anyone at all right now?
Well,
Very
yeah,
strange.
because he also, did you see what they tweeted out? What he tweeted out yesterday? I responded to this. Says one of the things Peter
Hmm.
and I were aware of when we took the job as heads of DC Studios was a certain minority of people online that could be, well, uproarious and unkind to say the least. Our choices for the DCU are based upon what we believe is best for the story and best for the DC characters who have been around for nearly 85 years. Perhaps these choices are great, perhaps not, but they are made with sincere hearts and integrity and always with a story in mind. No one loves to be harassed or called names, but to be frank, we've been through significantly worse. Disrespectful outcry will never, ever affect our actions. We were aware there would be a period of turbulence when we took this gig, and we knew we would sometimes have to make difficult and not so obvious choices, especially in the wake of the fractious nature of what came before us. But this means little to us in comparison to our jobs as artists and custodians in helping to create wide and wonderful future for DC. I mean, I responded to this because I was just like, what? I was like, why did you even tweet this out? I was like, you say
Right.
yourself it means nothing. You've had worse, etc. I was like, you're just looking for attention at this point, but you're irritating people in the process by also partaking in hate marketing, hate bait. I was like, it's quite a sad look. I mean, what do you make of this? Because you're saying you should get off Twitter. This is the only reason I brought this up. What do you think about this statement? I mean, just, I don't know.
It's a complete distraction. It's like, why aren't you with your team creating an out story? You know, I'm sure you are, you know, but you know, getting the next 5 to 10 years ready for DC.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just stupid.
Yeah.
And then didn't Homeboy attack some fans, which is that's always a winner attitude, because they'll, you know, the fans.
Well, I mean, this whole thread is attacking fans. I mean, it's not a minority of people; it's a lot of people.
Oh, right. That's the thing. Minority of people online that could be
Yeah.
uproarious and unkind to say, "Oh God."
Yeah. I mean,
See,
it's never a good look. This is the thing; it never
No.
works. It never goes in their favor. So I don't understand like why it continues. You'd think that someone would just tell them, "Look, just shut up, just get off Twitter, just shut up."
So there's two things here, right? He had goodwill, and people are excited that he got the job
Yep.
because of, you know, they believe in Gunn and liked his work. So he's got to know that, but he's also, like you said, he's got to know that any kind of, you know, swipe at fans, whether they're minority or not, that's not going to end well, dude. You know, and then any of that goodwill, that's going to go away real fast.
Well, I think the majority of it's gone, and I think like so Gary for £5 super chat, it makes a really interesting point as to why, you know, you have the likes of Zachary Levi saying this, right? So Gary says, guys, they're rebooting everything. The reason they're lying about it is because they want Flash, Aquaman, and Shazam to make money. Because there is no incentive to watch those films otherwise. There just isn't. Where's the incentive to watch Shazam knowing full well that it's gone? And actually, Zachary Levi would be under contract to promote that film, not do anything to risk damaging the box office of that film. That would actually be in his contract. So he has to come out and say those things to a certain degree. Well, he doesn't have to. He could just not respond. But maybe he sees this as him securing a payday. You never know.
Man, it's crazy how everything is just like, you know, being thrown up and thrown out. You know, from Cavill to Wonder Woman to this to Blue Beetle, the Flash. I mean, you think that it would have been better at this point, because, you know, the biggest scandal forever was Ezra Miller, and it's like now that's not even the, you know, there's so much drama. It's drama, and whether it's real or not, it is drama. And what it isn't
as well, isn't it?
We want some announcements of, you know, filmmakers and writers and actors and, you know, new films that we can expect. There's just been a lot of, like, the last couple of weeks, a lot of drama that I didn't even know was there, and now it is. People are hired and they're fired and they're rehired. That's a mess.
Yeah. No, it is. Like, it is a mess. It is an absolute mess. And you think, like, I don't know. I mean, they are in a tough, they're in a tough position. And I've acknowledged that in every single video I've done, is that, you know, a hard reset is the way forward, right? Like, that is the way forward. But I just think you can, not a hard reset. Resetting is the way forward, but you don't have to do it as hard and as drastic as they're doing. There's a way to do it in universe that makes sense. You know, by just having people, you know, build to it narratively. I mean, it's a comic book, for fuck's sake. Just Flashpoint, there you go, done. Like, just do that. Like, everyone can turn out for their last movie. You can please people. So yeah, interesting. So we had recently news that there would be another Escape from New York film. Did you hear about this?
Oh no, I didn't.
Did you not? So it's from the Scream team, the new creative team behind Scream.
Okay.
So not bad. And when the initial report came out, you know, people thought it was going to be a reboot, or a remake. It's actually going to be a sequel. So it's going to be a soft. It's going to be a soft reboot, actually, because they're saying it's a la Scream, which is a soft reboot, sort of the universe, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd say. I mean, correct. Do you think otherwise? I'd say it's a soft reboot. Scream, the new Scream films.
Yeah, that was a soft reboot.
Yeah,
still in the universe.
Yeah,
you know.
So basically, Radio Silence, Tyler Gillette, Matt Bettinelli-Olpin, and Chad Villela, great name, are in the process of finishing off Scream 6. But they're also hard at work developing a new take on Escape from New York. However, reports their movie will be a reboot have been proven incorrect. So John Carpenter's 1981 classic starred Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken, a soldier turned criminal who was tasked with rescuing the United States president. The movie remains beloved, though the sequel, 1996's Escape from LA, isn't remembered quite as fondly. During a recent interview,
that's true.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, that is the sequel, right? So, like, it's definitely a soft reboot what they're doing. During a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, the filmmakers clarified that they're making a sequel which will continue the Escape from New York story in a similar way to that horror franchise. So it is not a remake, Gillette stated. That's one of those properties that you can't remake. It's sort of untouchable to us and lives in its own stratosphere. Nice to see the positivity. I think that's good. In terms of how important it is to us and how much we love it. So it'll be not unlike Scream, I think, a nod to and a continuation of what we love about those characters and that world.
Nice.
What do you think?
Yeah, I liking what I hear so far. I am a fan of Scream 5. I like the actors that are in it. Gonna be in 6. So yeah, why not? And you know, Snake Plissken's a great character.
Well, we don't know if he's going to be in it though.
Oh, I thought you said it was like a sequel or something like that.
Well, it is, but they say
old man.
So
Snake.
it'll be not unlike Scream, I think, a nod to and a continuation of what we love about those characters and that world.
Right.
So that's not saying that it is a sequel, and it's not saying that they will have those characters in it. The word that these people are PR fiends. They love it. You got to think how they're wording stuff, right? It's a continuation of, a nod to what we love about those characters and that world. So it's not necessarily stating that that those characters will come back, or that it'll be a continuation directly. I don't think it will be. You know,
okay, maybe not a direct continuation, but it would be nice to have some of those old characters come back as older.
I agree.
Themselves, and then hand it off to a new generation. You know that's going to happen. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
God, yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, that could go real bad.
Yeah. Whether this means we can expect to see Russell reprise one of his most famous roles is hard to say, but there's always a chance that Snake will be recast. I don't think they'll recast him. I think they'll have him back if he can, if he wants to, if they pay him enough. But I don't think they'll recast. I think they themselves have stated that it's too untouchable for them to recast. I think that that's the mindset that they have.
Okay.
But the article makes an interesting point. It says, after all, unless this world has moved in real time, the movie may well return to that same setting with a new actor picking up where Kurt Russell left off. I think they'll have it move along in real time. And I think that they'll do a self-referential thing towards, Escape from LA, that people don't really like it that much. And that, do you know what I mean? I can see them making a sort of a comedic self-referential comment about that. And I think that the world would have moved on in real time. And I think that's actually the way to do it, personally. But you might have a different opinion there.
No, I'm for it. I'm for it. I think it could be interesting. It's got, it's got to be a little toxic. I love, we need that vibe.
Toxic. Don't say that. It'll upset people.
Yeah, that's their problem.
Oh dear. Well, yeah, it is. So let me just get to some more super chats briefly, and then we'll shuffle on to another topic. Our last topic of the day, actually.
Right.
Unless there's anything you want to, well, you don't actually know what the last topic is. Is there anything else you want to cover?
No, we'll talk about the Christmas party tomorrow at the end.
Yes, yeah, got to talk about that. Yeah. So let me just see. So we had Gary for £2 says he called it the Warhammer 40k cinematic universe. That's what Henry Cavill said. It's literally a Warhammer 40k cinematic universe that he's in charge of, which is great. Tom Working for $2 says Secret Wars may be the reset for Marvel. That's true. That is true, actually. You are right there. Mr. Tickle Trunks says, I have a feeling Gunn is just talking about the crazy Snyder cultists who send threats, but you're right. Better to say nothing instead. Get to work. Yeah, agreed. There are just ways to do it, isn't there? Right at the end of the day. Maybe that's not it. Tom Working also sent in $5. I loved Escape from LA. Bruce Campbell. Yo. Yeah. So, final topic of the day is James Cameron talking about the possibility of another Terminator movie. Now, this actually comes to us from a larger, it's a larger comment that he made about how Terminator Dark Fate failed. I don't know if you saw this, but basically, he was on a podcast where he essentially said that Terminator Dark Fate failed because of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton in the movie. He said that it would have survived if it was just one of those actors, but if it was both of them, people didn't respond because it's basically your granddad's Terminator movie, which I thought was incredibly disrespectful, incredibly stupid thing to say, and just shows how out of touch James Cameron is with the audience. That's not why Dark Fate failed. It failed, one, because you retread story elements from every single movie into one movie. You killed off our legacy character of John Connor in the first 5 minutes to then swap him out for someone that we don't care for in the very next scene. A tiny idiot Mexican girl who somehow instantly knows how to use a gun and also somehow doesn't believe that her dad, even though she's seen that it's not her dad, is actually a robot, gets shot in the face. It's just dumb. Like, the whole thing was stupid. It was a terrible script, awful. But he thinks it was Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger's fault. That's genuinely what he said. Did you see that or not? I'm guessing
I
that's
didn't.
completely new to you. I mean, what do you think about that? Just hearing that.
Well,
Just
I
very
didn't see the
briefly.
film. I had no desire to
You're
see the
not
film.
missing anything. I'm surprised you didn't though, because it's got the Latino leads, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really? I
how
would
there's a
have
whole
thought you'd have been on that, in
Mexican
fairness.
border thing in it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have
I
thought you'd been
mean,
on that.
this,
I mean, you're not missing anything. Just
yeah, yeah, man. There's other things to cover.
yeah. No, you are right. Like, it's not a good film.
Right.
But basically, he says, if I were to do another Terminator film and maybe try to launch that franchise again, which is in discussion, but nothing has been decided, I would make it much more about the AI side of it than bad robots gone crazy. I think he's really revealing himself to be massively out of touch. Because personally, one, the AI side of it is why the robots went crazy. That was the point of them. The AI created the robots, so you know that they're on a mission from the AI.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole point of it, and it was all about AI. Like, it was. I don't get it. What do you think of this?
It's a bad take. It's amazing how many bad takes Cameron has had in the last few weeks. Really, just.
I mean, that is bad, isn't it? Right? Like,
just like get out and get some sun. Go. Get outdoors. It's just, his takes are just so like in-house Hollywood wannabe, liberal thinking and trying to improve
I mean,
on
this
stuff.
reminds me of Ridley
balls.
Scott and his obsession with fucking AI and synthetics and stuff. Oh, for goodness sake.
I'm
I don't
so
want to
glad
watch
I
a
didn't see
Terminator. Yeah, yeah, honestly, you're not missing anything. I don't want to watch a Terminator movie about. I mean, what? It's
Did you
always
like
been about
Salvation and
Skynet.
Genesis?
Genesis was a terrible film. Absolutely terrible film. Salvation is nowhere near as bad as what people say it was. I think people had expectation that it was going to be something else. It's nowhere near as bad as what people say it is. I rewatched that on the lead up to Dark Fate, and I was like, it's not that bad actually.
Salvation
it holds
I like
up.
Salvation a lot, and I'm with you on Genesis. It was unwatchable.
Awful film. Awful film. But the focus on AI rather than bad robots gone crazy. Like, the bad robots never went crazy. It was AI that went crazy. It was Skynet, the AI, that went crazy. James, you made this franchise. You should know the basis for it. What are you doing? That's an incredibly bad take.
Yeah. This is the thing too. When you got a creator such as Cameron just on the press junket, literally probably hasn't been talking to press for like a decade.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, and different journalists will ask different questions, and and they'll get some nuggets every now and then, just because that's the more press you do. It's just like, why are you talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's interesting. I think as these directors get old, and James Cameron said this. He started lambasting testosterone. He's like, it's a toxin. Young boys need to work out their system. Shut up. Don't know what you're talking about. If you had more testosterone, James, you'd probably be a happier person, because it's a feel good hormone for men. Makes you feel good, makes you feel like grounded. Actually, when you have low testosterone, it makes you, act like a bitch, basically. But so the interesting thing about this, and it seems to be as old as these sort of directors, male specifically, get old, they sort of like go on this like mortality. sort of search. Like Ridley Scott started, you know, getting just jerking off synthetics and stuff, and making all of his alien movies less about the alien, more about the robots and sort of quest for life, and
I see
you
what
know,
you're
really
getting at.
sort of questioning his mortality, and
Mhm.
it just becomes this sort of philosophical circle jerk that they're just doing for themselves, you know, just being like, oh, maybe I can find some greater meaning in all of this. This is the same thing with James now.
Mhm.
James completely misses the point of Terminator on a whole, and then he's like, right, you know, let's talk about the well. One, it was always the AI side of it, James. For goodness' sake, it was Skynet. Skynet created the Terminators. You giant peen. But it seems like I'm sure he would just be exploring the AI, and the sort of, you know, the sort of philosophical elements of AI. It's just what it says to me here. It's just bizarre. Why do they keep doing this?
Yeah, I think it's part of that part legacy, you know. They're questioning their own legacy, as well as being, you know, these huge egomaniac personalities, you know, that comes with the territory of being, you know, those type of creators. I think another thing of it is there's such an attack on white men from Hollywood and the pop culture that they're almost I don't know if they feel guilty or they're
Sort of
being
huffing the paint
shamed.
of it all.
Right, so they're like almost rewriting their own history.
Yeah, maybe.
It's so weird, man. You know, it's really not cool. Yeah,
Well, you know, I
it's
was going to say, you
yeah.
know, one person that has avoided all of this, Quentin Tarantino. The moment he's questioned on this stuff, he's like, I reject the premise of your question. Shut up. Move on. Like, oh,
Perfect.
you don't have enough women characters. Mate, I reject the premise of that. Shut up. Move on. Like, just absolutely slam dunks on people that question his former past work. He's like, no, you're talking absolute shit. Shut up. Go away. Leave me alone. You know, but these people are like, oh, well, you know, testosterone's bad. Testosterone is quite literally what gave you a career, James Cameron.
Yeah, well, I think
Without
Cameron. Yeah, I think what's bad, Cameron, is your, you know, your kind of pattern with, you know, 5 marriages. Yeah, I think you should look. I think you should look inward, and then you can come back and talk about giving advice on masculinity.
his inability to stay faithful,
Yeah,
and
right.
not become an
virtues.
adulterer.
Yeah. I'm looking to you for the virtues of manhood and the practice principles that you've learned, and you know, get the fuck out of here, man. You know, I mean,
maybe the AI, maybe the film about the AI would all be about the AI. Like,
let me
love
tell
you,
man.
maybe I love you.
Right. Look, I'm over 7 years sober, right? And I bring this up because it demands you know, a person to be brutally honest with their shit every day.
Yeah, of course.
That's just it. Keep it simple. Then you start practicing new principles. You start practicing new behavior. That's the whole point of sobriety. You know, you can't keep marrying chicks, James, and doing the same shit because you still get the same result. Divorce.
Yeah.
You're a shitty dad. You know, grow the fuck up, right? And you know, just go inward and work on your shit without bothering anybody, without telling anyone else to do. I don't tell anyone what to do in regards to my sobriety. You know, when I do, then I know I'm in trouble. You know, and I just say that because that's the whole thing of just living in a fucking fantasy world, thinking that your shit doesn't stink and you're so evolved and you're gonna tell people, brother, I know that behavior. That is classic narcissist behavior. And then you add an addiction to it, and you know you're fucked. And excuse me, guys, for the language, but you know, this is real. This is not fantasy. Well, you've created great fantasy. Stand by it. Stand by your work. Stand by your legacy. And then you know what? You screwed up in this area. Newsflash: you're a human being. It's all right.
Yeah,
it's all right. You've evolved to other places. You haven't evolved there. Don't tell other men how to be. Get the fuck out of here.
No, I agree. I completely agree. Oh dear. Fucking James Cameron. What is he doing lately?
But you're so right about Tarantino, man. You know, like
Mm.
that's
He
how
just
you
owns
approach
it.
it.
He's like, no, like, leave me
Yeah.
alone.
If you don't like it, don't see my
Unapologetic.
films. You
Yeah.
know?
Need more unapologetic people in this world. So you shared this. This is the
Yeah, I did.
was this like synopsis?
Me
of,
contributing.
It's about bloody time. Captain Marvel
I know.
2's first synopsis, right? So, as shared with the direct by Twitter account Captain Marvel BR, Disney revealed the first official synopsis for 2023's The Marvels via press release. The synopsis looks back to the climactic events of 2019's Captain Marvel after Carol broke free of her Kree brainwashing. She's now shouldering the burden of a destabilized universe. The whole universe isn't destabilized, you pleb. As a consequence, maybe the galaxy, but a fucking universe. In the sequel, a wormhole will act as a catalyst for bringing Kamala Khan and Monica Rambeau together as their powers become entangled with one another's just in time to save the universe. Right, okay, so what is this? Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, has reclaimed her identity from the tyrannical Kree and taken revenge on the supreme intelligence. But unintended consequences see Carol shouldering the burden of a destabilized universe when her duties sent her to an anomalous wormhole linked to a Kree revolutionary. Her powers become entangled with that of Jersey City superfan fan Kamala Khan, aka Ms. Marvel, and Carol's estranged niece, Captain Monica Rambeau.
What?
Together, this unlikely trio must team up and learn to work in concert to save the universe as the Marvels. I mean, it's not the universe, for goodness sake.
Wow.
It's
There
the
you go.
galaxy. It's not the entire universe, is it? The Kree weren't controlling the universe. And what is that about? I mean, I don't think that sounds great, but might be fun, I guess. I don't know. I think so. So let me be brutally fair.
Okay.
As fair as I can be about this.
All right.
I think if you're going to give, and I think this is probably what they did and why they did it. I think if you're going to give Brie Larson's Captain Marvel a fighting chance of being likable, you pair her up with likable actors and characters. And I think that is honestly what they're trying to do here. That's why they teamed her up.
I'm with you.
Otherwise, I can't see why. Why else would you do it?
I mean, honestly, I haven't seen enough of Monica Rambeau to have an opinion whether she's likable.
She was in WandaVision, I think.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is not like Kamala. Really, I think she did a great job, and I like the character more than I like Carol Danvers. Absolutely, 100%. You know, they almost should just give her own film, not these bozos. This could go south real bad. And it, I mean, where are the Avengers? Again,
Yeah, well,
Thor. You know, we know what this is. We know what this is. All right, let's keep going.
Well, there's not much. I mean, it says what else to expect in Marvel. So,
gotcha.
This synopsis seems to tie directly to the final scene in Miss Marvel, where Carol Danvers found herself in Kamala Khan's bedroom after Kamala's bangle made her and Carol switch locations. Now it appears that Carol will have to learn how to handle Kamala's mutant powers alongside her own and those of Monica Rambeau, making for some interesting struggles as the trio meets for the first time. So it's that sort of like buddy cop, like bouncing off one another. That's what I mean. Like, I think that's what they're doing, trying to make her more likable. This comes on top. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. No, please.
As you say, this comes on top of having to mend her estranged relationship with Monica Rambeau, who still resents her mom's best friend for being away from Earth while Maria died from cancer. It's still also unclear where Monica is after fans last saw her gain superpowers in Westview during WandaVision. So fans may find a more skilled Monica once she's introduced in the Marvels. And they say this, while it's still unknown what else will come from this wormhole, and the Kree revolutionary, played by Zor Ashton. The
Mm.
stakes in this movie should dwarf what Carol saw in a 2019 origin story. Well, they say the fate of the fucking universe is in her hands. I should hope so. You'd think so, wouldn't you? To save the universe,
Mm.
the stakes would be higher. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm so confused. And then I really don't care.
Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Well,
I mean,
just from reading, from what I've heard, you know, like you're gonna try to make the chemistry. Hey, I could be totally wrong, right? But I don't see a lot of chemistry in or charisma in her performance of Captain Marvel. I'm just gonna be honest. I
No.
just did not like it, right?
No, it was very
Then
wooden.
you want me to believe that these two girls who are at different places in with their powers are going to look to her, or you know that, and there's going to be some, you know, great chemistry and great, you know, let's you know, woman bond.
Yeah.
And this is a movie, right? Now see that
Yeah, it's a movie.
sounds like a Disney Plus TV show. Not a
Yeah, it
movie.
does, doesn't it? That does sound like a Disney Plus TV show. Those sort of kiddie bouncing off one another, sort of being taught the powers, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's very Disney Plus. It is very Disney Plus. I wonder though if though that's a sign of the times and us sort of aging out. I don't think this is the case, by the way, but I think it's an interesting point of discussion. Is that, you know, is maybe some of it an element of aging out of the universe itself? You know, how they're looking to garner a younger audience year on, year out, and we've simply just aged out of the universe. Which, you know, you got to remember they built for like 10 years for Endgame and things like that, or 10, 11 years, whatever it was. It's a long time, right? And now, obviously, you know, those people are older. They can't keep doing that because they're older, and sort of, you know, our sort of expectation changes and things like that. Maybe it's to do with that. What do you think?
I think it goes back to us seeing that lineup of the Avengers. I mean, we don't care about any of these characters. I mean, who in the chat can honestly say that they really care about Captain Marvel? And this sounds like a fantastic idea.
A sense of sarcasm.
Just a bit. Just a bit. You know, yeah. Maybe if they recasted and had a Scarlett Johansson. Yeah.
What, is Captain Marvel?
I'm just
They've equally got big tits, so maybe
her and Florence Pugh, they should just, you know, go keep on kicking ass, looking cute, you know.
Dear, oh dear. Right, let's shuffle on to some super chats real quick. Simon Roper for £2 says Kurt Russell, Snake Plissken forever. Definitely can't replace him. Mr. Tickle Trunks for $2 says Cameron just wants to give Skynet a personality. They did. They did that in what's it called? The one we were talking about. I can't remember what it's bloody called.
Salvation.
Bell. Yeah, they gave it a personality in Salvation briefly. Came through as that doctor, remember? But yeah, he does obviously want to give Skynet a personality, which is ridiculous. Tom Working for $5 says Maker versus Made. Man becomes God, but not keep the war in place. Yeah, obviously that's in reference to the whole Terminator stuff. I just think it's ridiculous. They need to sort it out. He needs to just stop. He sold the rights. Just stop doing it. It's ridiculous. And I think that about wraps it up. You want to talk about tomorrow's Christmas stream, don't you? Briefly.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We're gonna have Mr. H will be hanging out hopefully the first hour. It's in 24 hours. It's a live Christmas party stream. Gonna have live musicians coming on, and then some of your favorite YouTubers popping on in, some friends of ours. And really it's just that, you know, maybe talking about just hang out. Maybe I'll bring up some Christmas movie trivia and What are your favorite Christmas movies? That type of feel good stuff.
Mm.
It'll be my last live stream on my channel of the year. Yeah. So
Lovely.
I'll put it in again, and you guys make sure that you guys are subscribed and put the alert on for the party.
Yeah, please do, everyone. It'll be decent. I don't see why I won't be able to drop in. I should be around, so I have every intention of dropping in if I get a prod to remind me, because my memory drops out a little bit here and there. So please do follow the Latino Slant. You'll see it linked in the description box now. Please do click subscribe on my second channel, which is Mr. H Reviews Live Archives. These streams are long. I section down the topics into separate videos and release them over there, as well as the full streams as well. So please do check out that channel. But from me and obviously Paulie, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you have a great evening. Join us on Thursday for another stream. Maybe the last one of the year. No, maybe the last one of these. I don't know yet. We'll see. You're away with family after that, aren't you? I think.
Yeah, but they have internet in South Carolina.
Well, I've got to ask, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll figure it out. I think
Yeah.
you know, maybe we can do like a shorter show. But
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
I just put in some numbers. Someone just put updated the.
Yeah, I saw that. I day by day. I don't like doing. I always like to do a week by week because.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to,
because you know everyone
week,
is
week
like
on,
just
week out.
literally every, like there's so many channels like today, like they're just counting every damn dollar.
Yeah, I don't do. I always just do. So we're talking about the update on Avatar hit like 500 million worldwide. So 500 million. I don't like doing daily updates. I like to do a weekly total, basically, you know, because then you get the drop off if there was one. That's when you know or can potentially predict what a movie is going to do overall, because you can see the interest, the sustained interest, or the wider interest from an audience. So that's what I don't do day by day, just as an FYI. Just real quick, Tom Working dropped in and says Captain Marvel was oatmeal. Well, I'd like to sprinkle some blueberries on Brie Larson. That's for sure. Anyway,
you really like her, huh?
Mate, she's quite attractive. Like, this is what I mean, because people are like, you fucking hope. No, I could, like, even I dislike her, because there was that stupid tweet by what's that bloody woman's name? Mecca Random, where she was like, I look younger than you. You look like a fucking foot by comparison to Brie Larson. All right? Like, I dislike Brie Larson, but even I can say she's fucking banging. All right? Shut up. Like,
I thought Brie was very, very cute like maybe 10 years ago in was it Scott Pilgrim? That's when she was her
she's
hottest.
she's still attractive. She's still banging.
She needs, someone needs to throw her a hamburger. She needs to eat some tacos.
Man, I quite like a lean.
Oh
woman.
no, too lean.
Yeah, man. Nah, I can appreciate a good woman into fitness. I'm big on that. I like it. Anyway, right. Last stream descended into beard talk, and then I got rid of my beard. Now we're just talking about women and hamburgers. Good times.
You did get rid of. That's what's different. I just noticed that.
Yes, mate. My
I just freaking noticed that.
Took you all stream, 2 hours.
I know. I'll tell you. I'm still bedazzled by Avatar.
That's it. Just seeing all that blue.
Seeing all that blue, cuz.
Yeah, fam. Right. Anyway, ladies and gents, from me and Paulie, take care. Peace out.